We represent. What else? What else? Come on, come on, come on. Just let's go. So let's dance now. It is my turn. Just won't work you out. I am ready for your action. Just won't work you out. You should cut off all distraction. It's all on you now. And just give me some reaction. Just won't work you out.
Good afternoon and welcome to Rubbin Minds. I am Gbemileke Oscar Oyuso, and thank you for joining us this Sunday afternoon. As you know, it's that time of the day for 1 hour where we discuss hot topics happening across the country and beyond. It's great to be back here, and once again, thank you for joining us today. Just a quick rundown of some of the issues we will be touching on. The judges, yes, that is probably making the headlines all over the world, talking about the arrested judges and what is going on in the background and the future of the judges and the precedents that the DSS has set. We also have the Niger Delta issue. The leaders are also having a meeting, hopefully with Mr. President. It has been postponed twice, but we finally got a date for them as well. We'll talk about some other issues surrounding the polity as well. We have a very special personality in the studio with us. She will be joining us later on, and we'll be talking about health and a special project she's working on in conjunction with the One campaign. All that and much more coming up on Rubbing Minds today. We have Wale Oshunde, who is a lawyer and public affairs analyst, and he's here to make my job a lot easier, where I sit down here and form like I know everything that is happening, and I just nod my head to everything he says. But let's meet Wale. How are you, Wale?
Thank you very much. I'm doing fine. Thank you.
Great to have you back on Rubbing Minds.
Thank you so much.
If I've lost count, I think it's like your number 20 or 30 something time on the show. Absolutely.
I mean, I've done a couple of sessions with you, and then I think it's been very good over the years. So
good to have you back.
Thank you so much.
Recession looks good on you.
Oh, absolutely. I hope so.
That seems to be the new comments everywhere now. Recession this, recession that.
I hope so.
There's actually a story on the Forex exchange and what some of the manufacturers are facing finding Forex. But the one I really want to talk about and kick off with is the issue of EFCC, the judges probe, and of course this arrest of the insurance directors. What's that about?
Oh, well, I think we should kick off with that of the judges, like you said. Maybe we should start this way. I do not support corruption in any form, and I do not think that anybody who is corrupt should go scot-free. But I'm an advocate of due process, and I believe that in line with what the president has decided to start with, we should all do things properly in this country. You know, flowing from my own humble background as a lawyer, and of course someone who is actually a member of the Nigerian bar, I think, yes, you may accuse people of corruption, but then to now find them guilty of corruption lies with our courts. It's actually not individual.
But I think this case is very unique in the sense that the very institution which we all hold in high esteem is actually the source of the investigation. Some are of the opinion that maybe that was the only approach to get this out into the limelight, because there's the immunity issue, there's the fact that some of these judges will have walked away scot-free, etc., etc. Another party is saying DSS have no jurisdiction in cases like this. But at the end of the day, Nigerians are more aware. How it came about is where I want to start from. The process. Do you think there was a break in the rule of law in terms of the process? And if yes, does the end justify the means? Fantastic. If these judges are found guilty?
Absolutely. That was exactly where I was actually going to. You see, to start off with, I should let you know that judges are actually supposed to be sacred personalities in any jurisdiction. That's the honest truth. And then we have to be very careful the way and manner we actually approach judges, you know, in any form at all. I mean, you know, what I'm actually trying to actually say is the fact that judges should not be arrested in the first place, and then you allow them to go back to the bench again and adjudicate, you know, the fate of other people. That's actually my problem with the entire process. If you say somebody is alleged, you know, to be corrupt, or that they have actually taken money from certain people, you allow that investigation to go underground first, and then the only constituted authority that has that power to actually investigate all of those allegations would be the NJC. Now you allow NJC finish, their own work, and then you now revert back to the appropriate quarters, which will now be, of course, EFCC or the courts. What I'm actually struggling to say, or the point I'm struggling to make, is the fact that you do not arrest people who are judges, who are actually adjudicating on the fate of other people. You arrest them, keep them, behind the bars, and then you release them again. They go back to the courts. Then they keep doing the function of a judge again. I mean, how do you see that?
I think, if I'm correct, I think the NUJ advised some of them to take like a compulsory, is it leave?
No. What the NGC said was that they actually recommended some of them for dismissal and some of them for suspensions and what have you from the various courts, which were probably pending on the tables of the governors and the president, as the case may be. But you see, the most important thing, look at the judges that were arrested in the first place. They were arrested, detained for some days, and then they released them again, and they are back to the courts, determining the fate of other people. I think that is really not nice. That's the honest truth. Because
but in the sense of guilty, innocent until proven guilty, if we're taking that line or school of thought, then are you saying they shouldn't come back to their daily duties and jobs, or they should step aside pending the outcome of the investigation, or what?
Now, fantastic. Let's look at it this way. If somebody is convicted of a crime, do you still allow that person to be president of the country, for example?
Are you seriously asking that question?
No, that's the truth. Because if somebody is actually a thief, as some people have been brandished or customized now, you don't allow such a person to take over the courts and continue to send people to prison. That's the honest truth, because he is equally guilty.
You're quite right. And that actually brings me to my next question. Yes. I was watching TV where someone said that the position of the judge is near or next to, in the days of before, to God. They see them in that same light as like the alpha and the deciding. Now, if some of these judges are found guilty, what effect does it have on their previous rulings? Fantastic.
You see, now we have a very serious issue to combat in this country, because just like you have said, if somebody took bribe to actually discharge the functions of an arbiter on a particular matter, and he had given judgment in favor of a particular person who probably was the one who gave the bribe, and then we have moved past that for over 4 years or for over 5 years. Maybe in election petition matters, for example, somebody had been declared governor when actually he did not win, and he served for 4 years or 8 years, as the case may be, and is out of the place now.
Just thinking about it is messy.
That is the thing. So, you see, what we should have done was to actually confirm the fact that, yes, this person is actually guilty of this offense. We send them out of our courts. We clean up the place totally and completely, so that they do not come back there to determine the fate of other people, if indeed that person is guilty of that offense. But you see, like you have said, you mentioned the other time,